Hi, it's Grandma Lori. Thank you for joining me today. Our story is Roscoe the Clown and the Snake, brought to you by TechieOldLady.com. Roscoe was the biggest star of the circus. He had been there for so long, no one could remember a time he wasn't there. He loved hearing the children clapping and laughing. That was his favorite thing in the whole world, the sound of children laughing. Of course, over all those years, the circus had changed. He used to be able to play with the animals, but he felt sorry for them being all tied up, so he was glad when they decided to donate those animals to zoos. That just meant there was more for Roscoe to do. He learned how to walk the high wire. He learned how to swing from the giant overhead swing. He even got to greet the families who would come to see him and wave goodbye to them when it was all over. Roscoe had 3 friends, Lenny, Squiggy, and Mo. They had been with him since the beginning and acted like his assistants, helping with props and gadgets and making sure he was safe when he was high up. They were triplets, so sometimes Roscoe had a hard time telling them apart. Roscoe was on the high wire one day. The children were laughing and yelling. He was trying his best not to fall. He looked down to make sure the net was there to catch him if he fell. Just then, he saw a big snake. Roscoe really hated snakes. Oh no, it was starting to unwind and come toward him. He was so scared he forgot he was on the high wire and fell. The crowd gasped, but Roscoe was saved by the net below him. As Roscoe was coming off the net, he saw the snake slithering toward him. Oh no, time to run! Lenny, Squiggy, Bo, get that snake! Yelled Roscoe as he quickly ran toward his room. The snake said, "Wait a minute, I just want to..." That was all Roscoe heard before he heard the sound of the triplets shooing the snake off. The next thing Roscoe knew, a fight had broken out. He definitely wasn't going out of his room if there was a fight. A few minutes later, it got really quiet. What had happened? Roscoe heard a knock at the door. Nervously, he said, "Come in." The door opened and there stood the boys, with bandages on their arms and on their heads. Mo had his arm in a sling. The snake was with him with a big bandage on his head and a few band-aids all over his body. "Eek! It's the snake!" Roscoe cried. "Boss! Boss!" said Lenny, trying to be heard above the noise. Roscoe stopped. "What?" Lenny came over to Roscoe, leaning very gently because he hurt. "We had it all wrong. Simon the snake didn't want to get you. He was admiring your performance. He just wanted to tell you something." "Really? He's so big I thought he would eat me," said Roscoe. Simon slithered over to Roscoe. "No, sir. I just wanted to say how much I love your show. I've watched every day since you came, and you're simply wonderful." Roscoe was stunned. He couldn't get the sound of Simon's hiss out of his head. He walked over to Simon and gave him a big hug. "I guess I learned something today. Don't make up your mind about something or someone until you have all the facts. Otherwise, your mind will tell you what you don't want to hear. I'm sorry, my friend. Let's have some dinner, all 5 of us." From that day on, the 5 buddies worked together to do what they did best: make children laugh. Thanks for joining me.